Fashion shakeup at Marvel Studios. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. There certainly is a lot of buzz right now about Marvel Studios going around with the announcement that Robert Downey Jr. is returning to the MCU to play not Iron Man, but Doctor Doom. With his return, the Russo brothers return as well to direct the next two Avengers films. Whether fans like it or don't like it, everybody is talking about it. But with the arrival of Robert Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers and Stephen McFeely to write the next two Avengers films, come a lot more changes with Marvel Studios. And it looks like Marvel still hasn't 100% decided what the future will look like, and that's actually a good thing, and I'll explain why in this video. And since they haven't fully decided, they have actually made a lot of changes, especially when it comes to revealing to us fans what's going to come next. And with that comes a lot of different topics like D23, the Scarlet Witch, Blade, some X-Men spin-offs and spin-offs from Deadpool and Wolverine. We're going to talk about all of that in this video. Now, I want to start off with D23 because that's coming up tomorrow. And for a while, us, the fans, were expecting a lot from Marvel, from SDCC and D23, and you could definitely say that we got a lot from Marvel at San Diego Comic-Con's Hall H. However, it wasn't what we thought we were going to get. Granted, we never thought that we were going to get an announcement that Robert Downey Jr. was returning as Doctor Doom and the Russo brothers were returning, but we thought we were going to get a reveal of Phase 6, or at least a reveal of a lot of new projects. And when we didn't, when we got these big announcements about Doom, a lot of people are looking at D23 now going, well, maybe that's when we'll get these. I don't think that's going to happen. It looks like Marvel Studios really does plan on focusing on what is immediately coming up from Marvel Studios. And this seems like a shift in plans from what Marvel Studios typically does. But it seems like it's very calculated for a very specific reason. Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus recently did a Q&A in their Discord, and somebody said something about not getting anything new at SDCC about the future projects, and Alex said this: "The decision to not address the entire upcoming slate of Marvel movies and shows, as I understand it, stems from an idea to have audiences focus more on the immediate upcoming releases rather than focus too far ahead in the future. The reason why Doomsday and RDJ as Doom was revealed is because they wanted to tackle the whole Avengers 5 thing in one fell swoop. But Marvel's main focus right now is Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four for the film side, Ironheart and Daredevil Born Again for television." So at SDCC, they gave us what we wanted, essentially.
To be honest with you, I kind of agree with him in some aspects, because if you're just focusing on newer things instead of focusing on what you got going on currently, then that's a big problem in the MCU, because fans are not going to be interested in the current product. I mean, even though there are some good things about it though, but if you're just going to put random new stuff on there, then that's going to force people to just jump on board with the newer project. Like, you want to keep what you got going on right now with Daredevil Born Again, Fantastic Four, Doomsday, Secret Wars, and whatnot. Like, I think what you need to do is just focus on those things first before you decide to just focus on the newer things. So I know for the last few days I've been posting a lot of Gambit stuff. I just did a live stream of me drawing the character yesterday. Go check it out. But I might finish that project tomorrow. And yeah, I still want to see Channing Tatum come back as the character. And it's been confirmed that he is going to come back in, I believe, the Secret Wars or a different project. Because if it's going to be a solo Gambit movie, I'm all for it. Kevin Feige, please make it happen.
We got that. But as far as looking at D23, again, like Alex stated, looks like Marvel Studios has kind of changed their plans. Instead of revealing future projects at these events, they're going to now start to focus more on what is immediately upcoming. So at D23, we've heard that what to expect from Marvel is probably information about Agatha, and we've even heard that we might be getting a new trailer for Agatha that should be released online if they release it at D23. Promotions for Daredevil Born Again, and then they will talk about Ironheart. Of according to Nexus Point News, this is what Marvel Studios is going to focus on at D23. So no super huge reveals, and I believe that this is because Marvel Studios hasn't 100% decided on what they're actually going to do, which I think is a really good thing, because I don't think the plan that they had before was super planned out as well. I don't think they had it locked down. I think they were kind of panicking about what to do about Kang, and now that they finally know who the big bad is going to be, what the next Avengers film is going to be about, and they're beginning writing that and seeing what that's going to be like, they're going to lock down everything else. And I think right now the potential is actually greater than it was before, especially if you consider just how successful Deadpool and Wolverine is at the box office right now. Plus, the fans absolutely love it, so it's not just that it's perfect.
Not only that, but it's on its way of becoming one of the biggest hits in Hollywood history. It's on its way of hitting that $1 billion in the box office. That's the first time in cinema's history that an R-rated MCU film is hitting that $1 billion mark. Like, I could just see it happening by the next day or next week when we go on Twitter and you just search and see what numbers that Deadpool and Wolverine are hitting. And I believe in my gut that it's going to probably happen 9 times out of 10. Like I could just see it happen because the movie is that good. It's a real comic movie done right. And I hope to God for the next 10 to 20 years they keep this up.
Picked up on that, thankfully, because it looks like they might be making some decisions based off of how successful Deadpool and Wolverine is/was. Because rumor has it, and if you haven't seen Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm about to talk about some of the cameos, so spoiler warning if you don't want to hear it, skip forward about 35 seconds. But there have been rumors going around recently that we could get some spin-offs from Deadpool and Wolverine, specifically about 2 different characters, Gambit and Blade. Now, if you didn't catch it at the end during the tribute to the old Fox movies that they played during the mid-credits, there is a part in there where it looks like Gambit is seemingly going back to his universe, or if he doesn't have a universe like we're kind of led to believe in the movie, he's going back to a universe. The tribute footage does show him ending up somewhere, and we do know that the TVA managed to bring back that whole group: Elektra, X-23, Blade, and Gambit. That was made very clear by the ending when we saw X-23 with Wolverine. And right now the rumors are going around that Blade and Gambit could get spin-offs in the MCU. Now, they're just rumors for now, but it does kind of seem like they do have plans for them to appear in the future, kind of no matter what, like in Avengers Secret Wars. And I certainly would love to see both of them return, because I thought both of their appearances were just absolutely epic. They both nailed their roles, and I can't get enough of the
And what I don't understand is that why is everybody so hateful towards Channing Tatum? What did he do wrong for the film? All he specifically did was play the character that he's been anxiously waiting to play for years. Because if y'all remember when Fox was owning X-Men at the time, 20th Century Fox, they did not want nothing to do with a Gambit film. They were planning on doing it when Channing Tatum was on board with it, but that got completely scrapped. And so, in my past videos when I was talking about this issue, that Channing Tatum stated that when he lost the role, he kind of fell into like a depressive side, because he loved the character. He thought he lost it. He thought he was never going to play a character again. He loved that character. But when Ryan Reynolds went in during Deadpool Wolverine, he actually called up everybody from Elektra, Blade, X-23, and now we got Gambit. The fact that Channing Tatum actually got an opportunity to play the character that he was supposed to play 10 years ago, that's a dream come true. So the fact that everybody is hating on the fact that they don't like his version of the character, but they like the another actor's version from X-Men or just Wolverine, is beyond weird to me. I even got into it with somebody on Facebook, which I'm about to show you towards the end of the video, and he was just full on hatred towards Channing Tatum, accusing him of not being good enough for the role. Like, trust me, I'm gonna show it to y'all towards the end of the video. Like, it's just disgusting. And also, I do want to see Gambit get his own solo film I don't know if he has his own comic series, but if he does, I'm going to do my research and I'm going to tell you how I feel about it and why I believe that they really need to like get this off the ground. But as for Blade, I would say keep him because right now the MCU don't know what to do with the Blade reboot. They really don't know what to do with this cat because one minute they said they was going to do it, and the next minute they're saying that they're having trouble finding directors. You hire him, then you fire him. He's there, he's not there, he's here, he's gone. It's like this movie is just a mess. You might as well just cancel the Blade reboot altogether and just keep Wesley Snipes. Him and Gambit were the best part about Deadpool and Wolverine.
We have a lot more to talk about, specifically upcoming about Blade.
But real quick, Deadpool fans, you're going to want to see this.
What's that?
Casetify went all out with this one. Look at that.
Oh, the phone case.
Thanks to them for sponsoring this video. I can't
Got a
even
little
begin
comic
to
drawing.
express how freaking cool this is right
That looks
here.
tight, though.
Oh, I know people are going to like this one.
Oh, that looks
All right,
sick.
so you know we have to try them on. That looks awesome. We have our, there we go. Grip
I like
there,
that.
and it's also, of course, it's also a stand. And this is really, like, if you really want to carry it, this is heavy duty.
Yeah, I wouldn't walk around like that. People probably steal it from me and stuff. Nah, you from the hood?
This is actually
No.
the stand for it, which is really, really cool. It's the Deadpool mask, which is just fantastic. And then again, if you want to just carry it around, this thing's heavy duty. Last but certainly not least, we kind of have what I would call kind of a classic Deadpool here, with him lying on the bottom. A little bit different because I think it's meant to go around your head.
I still wouldn't wear it around my neck or my
that.
wrist, regardless.
We also have an exclusive poster that came with this. Ooh. That is some art right there. Look at that.
That's badass. I like that.
That is really cool.
I like
This is an
that.
official Marvel Comics poster that you can only get through Casetify, and they're limited, so only the first
Oh,
people
so
who buy the
it's
set
exclusive.
actually get it.
You can head
But
over
it's
to
still cool, though.
Casetify.com to check out their Deadpool and Wolverine Casetify collection. I'll link it down below so you can go and get yours.
Now, going back to Blade, we were talking about the new Blade with Mahershala Ali. We have kind of some concerning news about Blade, and it leads to possibly a huge delay for a lot of other projects for Marvel Studios. So last week, Marvel Studios
what I mean?
put out an updated film slate that goes all the way through 2027, and Blade was listed on that. However, yesterday, Disney CEO Bob Iger, in their Q3 FY24 earnings statement, made a statement to the investors that said that they were looking at their upcoming theatrical slate, and they are excited to bring audiences a number of titles that expand their popular franchises and bring these stories to life, in which he listed them. He said, in 2025, our theatrical slate remains just as robust, with Captain America Brave New World, Thunderbolts, The Fantastic Four, First Steps, Zootopia 2, and Avatar 3, and in 2026, we look forward to Avengers Doomsday, a new Star Wars movie
that's the
featuring
one thing
the
I'm looking for
Mandalorian
as well.
and Grogu, and Toy Story 5, the first Toy Story movie since 2019. No mention of Blade whatsoever. Now, what's really interesting
You see
about
what I
this
mean?
is that Kevin Feige stated that they're not going to make the movie until it works. And recently,
Or you could just cancel it altogether. I can care less about a new writer or director. You're basically wasting everybody's time. And you said you was going to do something, do it. Stop delaying stuff all the time. That's what's killing your product in the first place. If people are investing in your stuff, have them invested. Have them involved in it. Give the fans what they want. Stop wasting people's time.
again, this movie has gone through a lot of writer and director changes, but apparently they're kind of
I don't even
getting
care
on
about
track
this
now.
reboot,
At least
honestly.
we thought, until Bob Iger didn't mention the movie. And there are a lot of other changes that Marvel Studios have made, and it seems like during all of these changes, Blade could have possibly got pushed back to after the Multiverse Saga. And if that is the case, it's a really big bummer, because Blade is kind of the center point for the supernatural side of the MCU. In fact, we've heard from insiders that the plan was for Blade to kind of be the Nick Fury of the supernatural side / the Midnight Suns. So sadly, if Blade gets delayed
Why?
until after the Multiverse Saga, if he gets delayed till Phase 7, then that most likely means that the Midnight Suns and the other supernatural heroes are most likely getting delayed till then as well. Which is unfortunate, but Kevin Feige himself said that they're not going to make this movie until they can get it right, and it sounds like they just really haven't been able to get it right.
Yeah,
so
that's why I said I don't even care about this
Avengers
reboot.
Doomsday and Secret
Now I
Wars,
feel like it's just a waste
might
of time
just put this
at
on
this
the back
point.
burner until the next saga. We'll have to wait and see on that, but another one that a lot of fans are really curious about is the Scarlet Witch. When is she going to return? Is she still going to get that solo movie that insiders have been stating Marvel Studios wants for her, or is she just going to pop up in the next Avengers film or at some point in time in the multiverse saga? Well, if you noticed in Deadpool and Wolverine, when they were at the base of all of those cameoed characters, Deadpool and Wolverine were taken there, the first thing that they showed was a sculpture, a statue of the Scarlet Witch.
Oh, I did not
which
catch
grabbed
that when
the
I was watching
curiosity
it
of a lot of
originally.
fans who caught that. There was a lot of talk about the Scarlet Witch possibly appearing in Deadpool and Wolverine a while ago before it released, and it seems like early plans might have included her in the movie. Obviously, she was not in it, but we did get this little Easter egg here, which makes us curious as to what is going to happen with her. Now, again, a lot of insiders for a while said that Marvel Studios wants to do a solo Scarlet Witch film. However, that might have changed as well, because Marvel Studios basically just kind of changed all of their plans for Phase 6, essentially, with the exception of maybe the Fantastic Four. So unfortunately, right now, the Scarlet Witch solo movie is up in limbo as well, but I'm sure she's going to pop up in the multiverse saga at some point in time, especially if Doctor Doom has sorcery powers. It seems like her and Strange would have to go up against Doctor Doom because they might be two of the only people powerful enough to even go up against him. Because make no mistake, everything that is going to happen pretty much from here on out, once Doom is introduced, it's gonna focus on Doom. And it seems like they are essentially starting over with what they originally had planned for Phase 6. Obviously, some things are staying the same, like the Fantastic Four, but Avengers 5 and Avengers Secret Wars have changed in a pretty big way. Obviously, Avengers 5, instead of being about Kang and being the Kang Dynasty, is now about Doom and his Doomsday. This directly affects
I can
Secret
understand
Wars
the change,
as well,
though,
because
for the moment,
Doom is
though,
now the
but
main villain of that.
you shouldn't
And
have
this,
fired
of course,
Jonathan
was
Majors,
Marvel
though, to be
Studios'
honest with you.
response to Jonathan Majors being fired. They could have recast Kang, but they decided to go a completely different direction.
And that's the one thing I don't understand. Why didn't they just recast the character? He could have been the main villain in the next Avengers film. Maybe it's because it was a shot at Jonathan Majors because of his personal life, but still, that was kind of like a weird and smart decision by Marvel. I don't know.
Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. Now this, of course, was a very calculated decision, one that they made so they could make the hype for Marvel Studios bigger than it's been in a really, really long time. But the Russo brothers weren't seemingly a part of Marvel Studios' plans, because we heard that Robert Downey Jr. said he wouldn't return, or he would only return if the Russo brothers were the ones to do Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. So it looks like the Russo brothers seemingly weren't a part of Marvel's original plans to do Doomsday in the next Secret Wars. But I actually think that is for the best, having them return. And they sent out a press letter from their company that stated that Stephen McFeely was going back to Marvel Studios with them. So it looks like he is going to be writing the next two Avengers films, which is also a really big change because originally we had Michael Waldron writing both. Both movies already had writers and scripts, at least rough drafts.
Honestly, the Avengers movies definitely looking forward to the most is Doomsday and Secret Wars. I really don't know if they're gonna bring back Tobey Maguire or Tom Holland, because if they're gonna do a Secret Wars, I want to see them adapt the Black Suit story in that film because it really happened in the comics. So I can only imagine it's gonna probably happen, but in a different way. So if you have like two Spider-Mans in film, one is the MCU version and another is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man being somewhat like a leader, because it kind of makes sense to have both Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire being the ones leading the Avengers together, because all of the other characters from the Avengers are gone. Captain America, Black Widow, like maybe certain characters are going to come back. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but if they're going to do it right.
And now with the Russo brothers and a new villain and new writers, it looks like the plans for both of these movies have completely changed. And this isn't bad, because things got pretty messy with Kang, with the whole Jonathan Majors situation, because it seemed like Marvel Studios just really didn't want to recast. Kind of seems like the T'Challa situation all over again, but they didn't really have a problem recasting Thunderbolt Ross, so who knows what's going on in their heads over there. But basically what seems to be happening over at Marvel Studios right now is that they are essentially reevaluating the story of the multiverse saga as a whole. And with this will, I think, come the delay or complete cancellation of certain projects. That could be Armor Wars, that could be Blade, who knows? It seems like Marvel Studios right now is getting it all together, probably focusing around Avengers 5 and Secret Wars. And once they get that locked down, then they'll decide, hey, we're going to do a Scarlet Witch film. Hey, we're going to get Blade out before these films. What exactly are we going to do? And like I've stated, I think this is actually putting Marvel Studios in a really good position. And the Russo brothers have shown time and time again, so has Stephen McFeely, that they can make great movies, the best Marvel movies, really. So call it what you want, call it a great move, call it desperation for Marvel Studios. I don't really care, because I think it works out for us fans. I think they're going to produce amazing movies, and I personally am really excited to see what they come up with.
I am too.
The future of the MCU. So
I still stand by on what I said about the Blade reboot being a complete waste of time. So I still personally want Wesley Snipes to stay in the MCU, because even though he's in his 60s, he still got it. He can still fight. He looks like he did 20 plus years ago. And not only that, but I still want Channing Tatum as Gambit to have his own solo film. Like, the guy did a phenomenal job in Deadpool and Wolverine, and he still got it. He waited his whole life to play the character, and I'm not going to stop continuing to talk about it until maybe for the next 7 months or so, if we get a confirmation from Kevin Feige that he might end up getting his own solo film. So, yeah. Speaking of some drama, I guess to show y'all this nonsense I saw on Facebook. And he's a lefty as well. And, yeah. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about right now.
Now, do y'all see this right here on your left? This is one of the main reasons why I cannot stand arguing with the Gambit haters, because people really want Channing Tatum to not come back in the MCU because of how bad he acted with the Russian accent and the, you know, how he was in the film. But this dude's comment is so ignorant to the point where I had to confront him about it, though. You calling him garbage because he didn't perform like you would have wanted him to do? And then on top of that, I look at your profile, and it turns out that you're a Wookiee as well. Them, they, and you worship the devil as well. Doing the witchcraft, Lovecraft, artists, and you're right around our bull crap. So that tells me everything I need to know about people like you, bruh. You're over here criticizing and accusing Channing Tatum of not being good enough to play the character. If Fox would have decided to do a Gambit movie, then he would have been very excited to play the character. But nah, you want to just throw your little jab at him, and you claim that he was not good enough, and then you still say that it's his fault that it got canceled. Are you out of your mind? Let me explain something to you, though. And like I said, when I look at your profile, you look very suspect to me. If you're going around worshiping Satan, the devil, doing witchcrafts and everything, says a lot about your character. And then you want to accuse Channing Tatum of not being good enough for the role. As if that wasn't an insult enough, you claim that he's garbage and he does not need to play or deserve to play the role of Gambit because of how fat he is. Bruh, do you not know that he's in his 40s right now? So what? Why does that matter? If an actor that is willing to play the character off, if they were born to play the character, because you know celebrities are nerds too. They read the comics just like you and I. They're fans of characters just like the rest of us. So I don't know what you're talking about because you're just capping. You're talking out your butthole right now, bro. So at the end of the day, I wanted to show y'all this animosity of this idiot comment I saw on Facebook. So at the end of the day, they're the ones crying that their favorite version did not come back in Deadpool and Wolverine. When what we got is a comic accurate version that is very faithful to the source material, and that's all we care about. So, if y'all enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below.